Hey, Rhett, how you doing this week?
Hey, Gary.
As a obvious compliment to the job that you've done here and the impact that you've made here, your name's starting to show up on some lists around the country for, head coaching job at South Carolina in particular, and coordinator jobs and things like that in the SEC and that sort of thing. Where's your mind at? I know you're in the middle of a season and this is an awkward situation for you guys, but I imagine that it's always been your dream to be a head coach, and obviously coming to Miami created a bigger stage for you and all those things. So, I know it's a little tough to ask this question in the middle of November, but it's pertinent because of what's going on. What's your mindset in terms of the future of your career and, your desire to be a head coach?
That's a fair question. And honest truth, that's the first I've really heard of it. Probably just because I'm so invested in what we're doing right now. It's going to be that time of year where those kinds of things swirl every year. If in fact that's the case, I think that's just a big compliment really to our players, to our assistant coaches, to the program that Coach Diaz is building that I'm really happy to be a part of. Miami's a destination spot. This is a great place to be. And I really am enjoying, the process of building this program to what Coach Diaz, I think his vision is for it. I love our offensive staff. I love our whole staff. I love our players and helping them be a part of this process of what we're trying to build on offense. It's a process. We're clearly nowhere near where we want to be. And that's the truth. To the other part of your question, I think the how is, if the opportunity ever presented itself and I was blessed with that, I think there's not many guys in our profession who don't maybe dream of that opportunity one day. But I think I learned really all the way back, believe it or not, in 2011 when I was at Samford University, you got to be where your feet are. And you've got to enjoy where you are, because if you don't do a really good job where you are, then none of that other stuff really matters. So I'm really invested in what we're doing here. I'm really excited about what we're building. I think the best is far yet to come. And I'm really committed to that.
And just as a follow to that, I mean, you're somebody that has moved around a little bit the last few years, as certain things have happened at different places, and you've, had to sort of, retool what you were doing. Does that alter your perspective at all? Understanding the nature of this business and how, coaches sometimes constantly have to move. And does it increase your desire potentially to maybe have a little tighter standard in terms of what your next move might be and potentially stay here for a while?
I think so. I think obviously with Coach Diaz being our leader, I can't think of anyone better to work for. I'm having more fun coaching right now than I think I ever have. And then my family does play a big part in it. And, when you can be at a place you love living, we love living here in Miami, and you're obviously at a place where you feel like you can build something special. I think that matters. And I think if certain people, maybe if their only drive in life is to be a head coach or to be this or that, then I get it. That's not me. I've got other goals. I mean, that'd be a great opportunity one day, but my family is the most important thing to me. Helping these players here, helping us get where we want to get as a program. To me, that part excites me. So that honestly is where my sole focus is.
Thank you, Rhett.
Yep.
Coach, we're going to go to David Lake at Inside the U. David, go ahead for Coach Lashlee.
Hey, Coach, when reviewing the Virginia Tech game, I mean, clearly the offensive line didn't play at the standard you would want, and clearly there is context as to why that happened. I wanted to ask, in the lead up to that game, how much was practice affected, normal operations and what you would do on the offensive line and in practice, and did that impact how the game went for that position group?
I think practice was probably similar to what it was the week before at NC State. It was thin on the scout world. Really, as the week went on, things changed. To be honest with you, I can't say enough about guys like Uz Traore and and Vaughn Donaldson, those guys, and even a guy like Brevin who came back after being off a month. And we had guys playing that really hadn't practiced. I mean, they weren't even available till Thursday or Friday. And so for those guys to be able to go gut that out and do what they did was, I think, shows a lot of toughness and commitment to their teammates and to what we were trying to do. Look, the offensive line, it's kind of like quarterback. When it goes really bad there, it's really bad and everybody sees it. And even in the game as a coach, you're like, man, but when you look on film, the reality of it is we were flat. We didn't play well offensively. The offensive line is kind of what everybody sees, but it wasn't just them. It was across the board. We were just doing some really uncharacteristic things. It wasn't anything that, give them credit for how hard they played, and they did play well, and they outcompeted us in a lot of situations, but it wasn't like we were seeing things that were messing with us. We just didn't execute. We didn't do a lot of basic fundamental things, especially in the first 2.5 quarters. We didn't do the things you need to do to win a game on the road. When we had opportunities to throw the ball, we were just not taking care of basic fundamentals, not just the line, and all of our protection with quarterback, running back, tight ends, everybody, to give us a chance to be successful. And it was a weird game in that we didn't play very well to our standard. I don't feel like we were playing fast. I don't think we were moving fast, but we ran 86 plays. We had 5 drives of 10 or more. I mean, it was kind of weird. And so when I say we didn't do a lot of things that you need to do on the road to win the game, we weren't as explosive as we'd been. We weren't great on third and long situations. We did do the things that you have to do on the road to not get yourself beat. We didn't turn the ball over. We possessed the ball for a long time. And the way our defense was playing, that gave us a chance, and we were able to hang in there. And I do think that sometimes not enough is made of when you find ways to win. Like, winning's a habit. You got to learn how to win. And offensively, our guys are learning more and more each week. The week before, it was a totally different scenario, and we found a way to win. This week was a totally more frustrating scenario, but we found a way. And I think sometimes how you win is more important than that you won, and certainly we want to play our best ball. But we're creating habits, and we're learning how to win different ways. We're learning what it takes, and we're also valuing how hard it is to win. And we certainly want to play better, but I think in the long term, we're learning some really good lessons that I think will help us down the road, try to be more consistent.
If I could ask real quick too, who would you say has been the most consistent run blocker during the season?
Yeah, I think up front, probably Corey Gaynor and Zion Nelson have been the most consistent guys for us. I think Zion's playing at a really high level, really ever since about the Florida State game when he got the opportunity to start and really never looked back. And he's even had some games he had to play on the other side. But I think he's really settled in. I think Corey Gaynor, and he gives you everything he's got. He's really the leader up front. So those two guys have been by far the most steady and consistent for us.
Coach, we've got David Furones from the Sun Sentinel. David, go ahead.
Hey, Coach. Sticking with the O-line, a couple of questions. Wanted to ask specifically about DJ Scaife last game, your thoughts on his game. And also, Navon Donaldson, Manny Diaz told us he was available if needed on the offensive line. And then we still haven't seen him factor into the new release of the depth chart. So I was wondering where you would have him. Would it be at left guard if, as he progresses toward being ready to play?
Yeah, I think in 2020, the depth chart on Monday, man, it's like closing your eyes and throwing a dart at a dartboard. The depth chart on Friday is probably going to be a lot more realistic. But it was good. Navon was available in an emergency role. Again, guy hadn't even practiced. I mean, full go really until towards the end of the week. So it will be good to have him the rest of the year, obviously, with the way things are going. I think he's excited and if he gets the opportunity, wants to play. Getting Ooze back was obviously really timely for us. I think with regards to DJ, I think DJ kind of is like everybody else on the offense. I don't think you can single one guy out. As a collective unit, we weren't at our best. We weren't ourselves. We were just off. Like I said, we moved the ball. We had the ball. We just didn't make anything explosive happen. We weren't making big plays. That's how you got to score points. And it just about all I can say is we gutted it out, but by no means was it our best effort. But I think having those guys down the stretch will help us. I think Navon is a guy that fits best at guard, but he's good enough to play center. He's good enough to play outside, even at right tackle. And so if he's healthy, that versatility is a big plus, and the experience that he brings.
Coach, last hand we have up right now is Manny Navarro from The Athletic. Manny, go ahead for Coach Lashlee.
Hey, Coach. Congratulations on the win last week.
Hey, Manny.
Hey, so just curious, have you gotten anybody back this week, that might have missed the last game? And I guess, will you find out, at some point this week? And then also, Coach mentioned Gavin Adams, I guess, would have been the next guy after Navon if you needed somebody to come in. I know you've got some other scholarship kids like El Gamal and Chris Washington. Just wondering, kind of what the crazy plan B might have been had you guys had any injuries last Saturday.
Chris Washington's a kid that we think's got a lot of promise. He's a true freshman, and some true freshmen come in and they're ready faster than others. It doesn't necessarily mean their long-term success is going to be greater or less than the guy that does play early. He's a long, really athletic guy that just honestly, he's kind of your old school, need a year to kind of get in the weight room guy just to be ready to play. But we still feel like his long-term opportunity here are good, but he's just not ready. And, at the end of the day, a guy like Gavin Adams he plays really hard. He does a great job on scout team when he is with us. He's at least been a guy that has given us the confidence. He'll play hard. He'll know what to do. And when you get into those kind of scenarios where we were last week, and you got to put somebody in the game, you got to put someone in the game that you can trust. And it at least gives the other 10 guys on the field, an opportunity to be successful. And we didn't have to get to plan B, thank goodness. I think we played the game at about plan D. So, I think one thing that we can all get frustrated with certain things. And like I said, we didn't play our best, but I don't think enough credit goes to Garen Justice for what he did. And really that whole O-line group for how they've stuck together, went out there and gutted it out. Like I said, some guys without any practice reps for weeks, and to go out and play. Again, they found a way, and there's a lot to be said for that.
Thanks, Coach.
Absolutely.
Coach Lashlee, thanks for spending a few minutes with us today, and good luck this week in practice. We appreciate it.
Hey, guys. Appreciate you.